Hey everybody, welcome back to Board Game Nation. We're just finishing up a great game, Deus. Here I've got the Wicked, there we go! So, very good, interesting kind of Euro. This game was actually nominated for the Spiel des Jahres, but it didn't win. It was the
Broom Service.
Broom Service, yeah, that's right. So I really enjoy this game. I've done a run-through of it if you want to check that out on Board Game Nation. But let's go around the table and just introduce yourselves, guys, and say what you thought about the game.
How's it going? My name is Jose. I really liked it in the beginning. It's really cool that you get to create your own little tableau and get things working. But I found the one thing about the game that was kind of like off-putting was that you're so in your own game in the beginning because you're creating this whole entire tableau that you don't really realize what everyone else is doing. But it's one of those things you have to get the hang of. But yeah, all in all, it's a really great game.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I find the same thing. It's the first game you're really focusing on your own thing, and then
quickly, you're
yeah,
just like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, but you really need to focus around the table because there's a lot of tactics as well to this game. Okay, so what's your name? And
my name is Erin. No, this is a really interesting game. I think I see a lot of varied strategies that you can come up with. So it's not you find one strategy that works. There's there's several options that you have to kind of go with, which is always nice.
Okay, so good things, bad things. Any?
Good thing. Well, the good thing is that I like the fact that there's the various different strategies you can use to play the game. The game is really quick to learn, but one of those very cliche, hard to master, I guess.
Oh, that's perfect. See, that's an excellent game. That's what I want to have. So that's good. Thanks a lot. And
hi, my name is Akan, and I really enjoy this game. I like how there isn't one dominant strategy. You can take many different paths, and the layout of the board isn't static, and so you can have a lot of replayability with different layouts of different territories. One, not really a knock against the game, but it's more along the lines of one wrong move in the beginning could really set you back, but the good thing about the game is that there are multiple ways in order to still be competitive within the game.
Yeah, that's definitely, you can get caught up in your own thing, and and get stuck there. But what did you think about the God's ability, where you can get rid of cards to change up things, right?
It's different. It's different in a good way. It's different from other Civilization games where you are constantly trying to keep buildings that benefit you and build up your civilization. Whereas in this case, it's a totally viable strategy to just chuck buildings and get the result of the offering, and still have that be a very successful strategy for you in the end game. So
yeah, it's less about the individual cards and what they do, but rather on how you're dealing with the actual cards and throwing them away and kind of building.
You can't get attached.
You can't get attached to cards. You're absolutely right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of games that use cards. You kind of get this is my hand of cards. I have to work with what I've been dealt with. Whereas this one is no, I don't like it. Toss the ball. And you by the end of the game, you've probably seen 70% of the cards in the deck, even in your hand at some point in the game. So it's you see everything that's there, and you just pick and choose kind of when it comes up and when you want to use it. We're never using toss the ball. It's all good.
And another thing too is that when you're discarding cards, in a lot of games, when you know that cards are going to be recycled, you're worried about discarding a card to give someone else the upper hand. Whereas in this game, it's discarding a card doesn't necessarily mean you're going to give someone else the upper hand, because they could be going for a completely different strategy that doesn't necessarily fit the result of that card. So
yeah, I do find that when I'm giving up a card that's a tempo card, I'm like, oh, this is a good card, and I know that guy wants it, and is it going to screw me in the end? And it's hard to give up some of those tempo cards that are actually really good ones, right?
Yeah, so. But it's I guess it's one of those things where it's you either play to inconvenience someone else, or you just play your game and stick to it and play the best possible game.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because you're getting very few temples at the end of the game. Like maybe if you're lucky, you could get 3 temples out.
Yeah.
So
and it's a mistake to hold on to them, right?
Yeah.
Because if you try to hold on to them and say, "I'll play this in 4 rounds," that's a bad move. You need to keep on cycling, right? And make sure that you cycle through. Yeah. Okay, so there we go, everybody. Whoa. There we go. I got a forehead shot. So that's it for Deus or Dios or Deuce. 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 It's a deuce. So I hope you enjoyed that. Once again, you can see the review and the run through on Board Game Nation. And you guys have a good night. I'm gonna go get a coffee, maybe play some more games.